That's cute.
John. John, hit on John. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Claudia.
Okay. I'd like to ask you to say some prayers for Pete. He's got a very bad case of shingles, including his eye.
Oh,
It's pretty bad.
I'll need that for my
Okay.
garden.
for sure, Claudette.
Yeah, thank you very much. I've got to go and look after him.
I just have to
Yeah,
put up.
okay. I'll try to come back.
Okay, hun. Ooh, in his eye. Oh, that's awful.
Oh, in his eyes. Oh my
Ooh.
God.
Anybody who hasn't had the shingles vaccine, I just learned this week that the government is making it available for free to seniors between 65 and 71.
No, thank you.
Perfect.
Shingles in his eye.
Peggy,
That's
your volume is extremely low, Peggy. We can barely hear you. Now you're
why this
muted.
came up.
Oh, she's muted right now. Peggy, you're muted.
It was good for so many weeks.
Jane, I see your name, but I don't see you.
God, Peggy.
Okay, everybody.
I think that's Jack and Teresa trying to come on.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Larry, we've got that white Zoom thing came up on the side again. I don't know why.
We
Nope,
can
there
hear
they
you.
are.
We just can't see you guys.
Oh, shoot.
Just check on your video view, whatever it's showing up there then.
It's on the
Can you
top
see,
here, but
can you
can't
see
get
the
out.
pictures, Teresa and Jack?
Zoom cloud meetings, open in the Zoom app, open Zoom. Click open on the dialogue shown on the launch meeting. I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, just go to launch meeting.
And then it says open in Zoom. Okay.
There you go. Go there.
Yeah, I pressed that
Just give it a sec.
and there you are. That's
There
what I
you-
get. But you don't see us, right?
Now go to the top right corner. Oh, you're on your iPad. So go to click on the very top of your iPad screen and it'll show you different boxes.
Can't reach it.
It's not doing that, Kathy.
Oh, we'll go to the
Wait,
bottom.
it's-
Yours might
Wait a
be-
minute, it's got one Zoom thing on the top with a microphone on it. And
Don't
it's
touch
got-
that. Don't touch that because we can hear you.
It's got all kind of squares.
Yeah, you want the square with the 9 dots? Click on that.
Yeah, but it's not that kind of square. These are the big squares. One says mail. It's not that little line on the top with the squares. It isn't that. It's
Okay.
strange.
I just don't have their video turned on.
Okay, do you have a picture of a video camera? It should be right beside the microphone.
No,
Like an old-fashioned video camera?
Well, you can stay on your chair.
no. But you know what? Jack is trying it on his iPad. I'm going to shut this off
Okay, hon.
and we'll try Jack's
We'll
iPad.
see you in a minute then.
Okay. Yeah, I'll turn this off.
Starting up. You ready to go? Everybody,
Hi,
Sylvia,
Lois.
ready?
Sure.
Now let's go. It's ready to rock and roll.
I'll leave that.
Okay.
You're not going to sit there, are you?
Here we stand this morning, everyone, this family, brothers, sisters, we have come. Hearts and minds are open, voices sing, God's glory working wonders in our lives. We have come to be together. We have come to be renewed. We have come to be alive in the world. We have come to stand united. We have come to stand in truth. We have come to stand in the presence of God. Look around, these faces filled with love. God's light is shining, Spirit in our eyes, in our eyes. Through these doors, hearts rising in this room, arms opening, all who seek are welcome here. We have come to be together. We have come to be renewed. We have come to be a light in the world. We have come to stand united. We have come to stand in truth. We have come to stand in the presence of God. Will you sing out this morning? We have come to be together. We have come to be renewed. We have come to be alive in the world. We have come to stand united. We have come to stand in truth. We have come to stand in the presence. You sound powerful. Let's sing it one more time. We have come to be together. We have come to be renewed. We have come to be a light in the world. We have come to stand united. We have come to stand in truth. We have come to stand in the presence of God. We have come to stand in the presence of God. We have come to stand in the presence of God.
Good
What
morning.
a rousing song. What a wondrous way for us to welcome each other on this snowy day with warmth in our hearts and an openness to the divine presence shining forth from within. We welcome all who are online today. We welcome dear Rev Lori, our speaker. We welcome all who may be watching online from the warmth of their homes and all who may come to watch later on via YouTube. And we now move to our vision statement. We envision at Unity of London a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. That is a powerful message. Can you envision it? That the world is transformed and we are a part of that transformation. And now we move to our mission. And our mission is to transform lives. How do we do that exactly? Such a big word. We, each of us, through what we do and what we say, how we are, inspire people to make a positive difference in the world. We get to do that as Unity of London, members of a wondrous spiritual community. We inspire people to make a positive difference in the world. Let us carry that into every day of our lives. There are no announcements today, but we know that our ongoing book reading with Catherine Bro happens every Wednesday morning and our prayer every day. Today, I invite you to close your eyes if you wish. As we move into our heart space, as we go into that unity with divine presence. We hold in prayer today Unity Church of Agape in Scarborough, Ontario. We also hold in prayer and respect all spiritual communities, both in our community and worldwide, who are celebrating prayer today. We affirm the divine presence within each of us, the divine presence in everyone who may be listening or watching. We affirm our oneness with divine source. We hold in prayer today any members of our Unity of London community who need special prayer. Peter Foy and Claudette Foy, Fred and Beulah, Chuck and Suzanne, Minnie Van Eek, Lois Colbert, Margaret Hoff, and any other of our members who need special sustenance to feel stronger physically. We hold in prayer all of our health caregivers throughout our community and worldwide, that they may be strong in spirit as they go about their work of healing others. Today we affirm all that we have within to make a positive difference in this world. We recognize our ability to transform lives. We hold in prayer our educators and our children, our students of all ages, that they may be open to learning in whatever way best suits them. And today we recognize that our compassion with our seniors, our empathy with our young people, and our consideration of each other is what allows us to make a difference in the world. Amen. It is now my pleasure to invite Grace Tallman, who will be sharing one of our London's core values found in the Daily Word.
Our topic for today is forgiveness. In the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. If I hold on to feelings of hurt, betrayal, or anger in response to another person's words or actions, I block the flow of divine love and peace in my life. Likewise, holding on to guilt, shame, or embarrassment that may arise when I have hurt another person also keeps me from experiencing divine love and peace. Forgiveness removes all barriers, all obstacles, anything that may be disrupting my experience of the divine presence. In order to forgive myself or another person, I need not justify or approve behavior that is unwelcome. I need only to become willing to forgive. In the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. I feel the healing power of divine love as it dissolves all barriers, all illusion of separation. I forgive, and I am healed. And forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. Matthew 6, verse 12. I am so glad that I have the privilege of introducing our beloved Reverend Lori. She served as our minister for almost 20 years, retiring Easter of 2020. She was an integral part of Unity of London's growth, along with so many dedicated individuals. Since the COVID pandemic, she has spoken for a number of churches, both on the West and East Coasts. This month, she completes her second third-year term on the Unity Canada Board. Lori and her husband, Bob, moved to Port Stanley just this past week, where they have a hillside view of Lake Erie. Sounds wonderful. She feels she is in a place where her soul is singing.
Would you like me to give my lesson now? Is this?
That would be great.
Okay, good. I'm sorry I didn't.
No, that's okay. Let's give a warm welcome to Rev Lori.
Okay, so let me, the other person to share. Okay, so I'm going to share screen, whoever, okay, thank you. And let me get to that. Okay. Okay, good. So a man named Jack was walking along a cliff, and he accidentally fell over the top of the cliff, and on his way down he grabbed a branch and was holding on for dear life. He was so scared, as you can imagine, and when he looked back behind him, he discovered that the canyon floor was like 1,000 feet below. So he started yelling, hoping somebody would hear him. And he was yelling, "Help, help, is anyone up there? Help, help, is anyone up there?" And he yelled for a few minutes, and finally he heard someone say, "Yes, yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, Jack." And Jack's aunt calls out, "Well, who is it? Where are you?" And the voice responds, "It's the Lord, and I'm everywhere." And Jack says, "You mean God?" And God says, "Yes, it's God." "Well, God, if you can help me, then I promise to stop sinning. I'll start being a better person. I'll serve you in every which way I possibly can." And God responds, "Okay, Jack, easy on the promises. Let's get you out of here, and then we can talk. Now, here's what I want you to do. Listen carefully." And Jack's like, "Yeah, I'll do anything, anything." And God says, "Let go." And Jack's like, "Let go? What do you mean, let go?" And God responds, "Jack, trust me, let go." Well, there's a pause. And then we hear Jack yell, "Help, help, is anyone else up there?" You know, it's difficult to listen to a message when it's asking you to let go of where you are, even if where you are isn't ideal. To let go of where you are to be where you would really like to be. It's difficult. It's difficult to let go because you don't know what's next, right? You're in fear. Oh, sorry. Oh, sheesh. I'm going to stop sharing just for a minute because it's not advancing. So let's just try this again. Okay, I'll go from there to here. Okay, so it's difficult to let go when we're in fear, when we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know whether to leave this job, get that house, stay in this relationship, because where we are is what we know, and what we don't know is scary. And so we move into this place of fear. We've got a fabulous experience there, an example of this right now as we watch the media following President Trump. He's so afraid to let go of the White House because he doesn't know that there is a gift on the other side of that for him. I imagine the final day where he's holding on to the frame of the White House door and the security are trying to pry his fingers so that the Bidens can come in. So what I would like us to do is send him love, and so he can get to that place of feeling peace and knowing that letting go is okay, because there's something greater there for him when he lets go and moves on to the next adventure. So today's talk description asked a few questions. It asked, have you ever visited somewhere different, like water or mountains, fields or open stretches of land, a new city, a building, and something inside of you opened up? You smiled, you felt some joy, and then you went back to what was. Now, perhaps we go back to what was because it seems an impossibility to imagine ourselves in this new place or in this new job or whatever it was that opened our soul and brought us joy. That feeling that arose when within you was your soul singing, giving you a message. And the tricky thing is to identify the message, listen to it, and then doing something about it. To move in the direction of your soul's song is a gift for all of us and a must for your absolute well-being. So then why, when we get that feeling of joy, why is it so hard for us to see something better, to see how we could be happier? Why is it so hard for us to let go of what we're holding on to? And I think it's because we're afraid of change, right? We're afraid of change. And I think we're afraid of change because we've forgotten that we have a safety net. In Isaiah 41:10, the prophet Isaiah tells us, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and I will help you. That's the safety net. And Hannah Moore Cohouse, she wrote the prayer of faith. And when she wrote that prayer, it became so popular in all of the New Thought movement. And it expands on the words of the prophet Isaiah. And perhaps you would like to read it with me. God is my help in every need. God does my every hunger feed. God walks beside me, guides my way through every moment of this day. I now am wise, I now am true, patient and kind and loving too. All things I am, can do and be through Christ, the truth that is in me. God is my health, I can't be sick. God is my strength, unfailing quick. God is my all, I know no fear, since God and truth and love are here. I love that prayer. Today is about stepping out and letting go of our fears so that we can follow our soul's song, so that when you feel a pull to something or somewhere, you can truly listen to it. One fear that you might be holding on to is your fear that if you jump, you won't be caught. You'll fail, you'll fall. Well, I want to invite you just to close your eyes for a moment or two. Just close your eyes wherever you are. And imagine that you're standing on the edge of a cliff. You look over and you see a safety net. But instead of it being weaved with cords, you see words like strength and power and love, life, wisdom, understanding, release, all 12 power words. And you see these words all intertwined, weaved together, and they're forming a strong safety net. And now you can open your eyes. We need to know that when we jump, when we take a chance, that our God-given powers will catch us. Just like when you jump on a net and it springs back up, well, you will be brought back up. You will be uplifted by your 12 powers, which are aspects of God and therefore aspects of you. that are waiting for us to fully develop them so that we can rely on them. But before we step out and we make that jump, we have work to do. We need to develop our connection with our 12 powers, with divine mind, as Charles Fillmore called the universe, God, divine mind, through the practice of meditation, through journaling or getting to know ourselves better, by reading inspirational words, getting inspired or in spirit. We learn that whatever challenge we face, it's our responsibility to hold on to it, to turn it around, to look at it, to mine it for its message, to discover the gift that is in it, to discover what your soul is trying to tell you. Someone said a challenge is an opportunity to do things differently. And all challenges ask us to make a change. An acronym for change is constantly having a new growth experience. And I love that because it's the truth, that nothing stays the same. You can try to hold on to what is, but it's a futile exercise. And I know we've all discovered that. The new experience that we're willing to walk into holds a gift for you and for I. Well, as you may know, many of you know, Bob and I moved to Port Stanley after living in this house for 31 years. And the change, the calling to move began with me. There was something inside of me, an urge, a feeling of discontent that I needed to leave the nest. You know, our daughter had left this familiar nest many years ago, and I felt like I needed to leave it too and start and build a new nest somewhere else. I was craving change, a new adventure. And we had to let go of what we called home. I've been thinking about it for a few years. It wasn't just something sudden. But I've been thinking about it a few years, and whenever we would visit our dear friends in Port Stanley and we would go down to the beach or the water, something just opened up in me, and I just felt a feeling of joy that something was happening and I needed to make a change. And I knew that that change would be around water, because whenever I saw Lake Erie or pictures of an ocean, I just had this longing to be a part of that. My soul would sing. I'd feel joy. But was it easy to dance with my soul's song or to my soul's song? No, it wasn't, because I'm not alone. I'm in a relationship. And I know that what I'm sharing is something that I'm not the only one experiencing, or Bob and I aren't the only ones experiencing it. In the midst of this struggle, when I was walking Bentley one day in London, these words started to come to me, and they formed into a poem that I wrote that I want to share with you. And I titled the poem, Moving, Body, Heart, and Soul. Mixed feelings jump in my Packer's tired body as we're about to let go of the old in favor of the new, letting go of memories in favor of possibilities, letting go of things no longer needed, shopping for the long desired new. It's a time of profound change for each of the two of us, one more ready than the other, one more eager than not. Dreams come true for one, dreams never dreamed for the other. Knuckles letting go, feet dragging. Other wears Nikes professing, let's do it. It's all here in this moment. The future to be embraced and to be cherished, to be discovered. And while we're walking at a different pace, my prayer, to get to our destiny joyfully together, each in our own perfect time. That described the struggle that I was going through, that was within me and all around me, as Bob and I negotiated this huge change. I was eager for the adventure, and he, bless his heart, he wanted to stay put. On top of that, the change involved not only moving homes, but letting go of a lot of our furniture because we were downsizing to a home that I think is half the size of where we were. What do you do when one person wants to move and the other doesn't want to? What do you do in any situation where there is a difference of dreams and desires? And all I can say is that usually one person wants what they want so much more than the other person doesn't want it. And there's the opening. There's where the give and take can occur. And that's important because I'm not interested in a win-lose outcome. I'm interested in win-win for everyone involved. But I knew I had to move. I was being called to the water. My desire for change, for new growth, was greater than Bob's desire to stay put. Well, he finally said yes. He heard the strength of my soul's calling. He knew that it wasn't going to quiet down, and I'm lucky that he embraced and was willing to embrace the change. The rest was pretty easy. I asked Bonnie, who lives with Tony in the complex where I wanted to live, I asked her to let me know when someone was wanting to put their place up for sale. And I had asked her this months before, but we weren't ready then, but now we were. And to let people know that we were looking in their complex. Well, that was on a Sunday. On the Tuesday, Bonnie texted me to let me know that someone had just come to her looking for a for sale sign for the complex. On Wednesday, we called them. We came to look at it in the afternoon and we bought it that evening. And here it is, our new condo on the lake in Port Stanley. You know, when fear gets out of the way, the universe has room to play. And this is part of one of the views that we have from our condo. I love what Rachel Naomi Riemann wrote. She's an MD. She wrote, "Stop living in the neighborhood of yourself and truly go home at last." And Araya Mountain Dreamer wrote, "Home was in the taste of being with myself, walking next to what was familiar, toward what was cherished." And she wrote, "It doesn't matter how far or how fast I move, but only how much of myself I take along for the journey." I think those ideas of home are really describe what our soul song sounds like. It's trying to bring us home to our heart, to our joy. And when we don't feel that way, maybe it's because we're just too afraid to make the journey or to go within and trust that we have that safety net, God, divine mind within us. I've learned there's two ways to look at fear. The first is forget everything and run, right? We just forget everything. We forget everything that we've learned and we run for the hills. Or face everything and rise. I love that. Face everything and rise. Do you remember the story about Androcles and the lion? In this story, a thorn was pulled from the lion's paw. You see, Androcles was a slave and he escaped his taskmaster and had run to find freedom, and he hid in a cave. While he was in there, he heard a noise and he turned around and he saw a lion approaching him. And he thought, this is worse than what I escaped. He just knew that he was going to be killed, that his time had come to an end. He cowered at the back part of the cave and the lion growled. And then he noticed a tear coming from the lion's eye. And the lion stuck out its paw and he saw that the paw was swollen. And in the middle of the paw, there was a thorn. Androcles withdrew the thorn carefully from the lion's paw, and the lion smiled. The lion licked his face, and then he retreated. And Androcles said, "Whew, I'm glad that's over." Well, 3 years later in Rome, Androcles had become a Christian, and the Roman persecutors seized him and they ordered him to renounce his faith, but he wouldn't. They told Androcles they were going to throw him into the den with the lions. Guess which lion he faced? The lion that he'd helped 3 years earlier. When the lion saw Androcles, he came out, and instead of charging him and eating him, he came up and he licked him. Androcles wasn't put to death, but he was released because the Romans thought that he was a person of high magic. He was. And the truth is, so are we. You know, our magic is our ability to make peace with our fears and realizing that that which we are the most afraid of, when we make peace with it, it can actually save us. That which we are the most afraid of, when we make peace with it, can actually save us. I want to finish with a reading from Oriah Mountain Dreamer's book. It's called The Invitation. And I want you to hear her words and be aware of which ones really touch your soul, which ones make some kind of a song come forth, and what message might lie within that feeling to inspire you on a journey of your own to hear your soul's song. She writes, "It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for. And if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. I don't want to know how old you are. Your age tells me how long you have lasted, but not what you have made of the precious time that you have been given. Lasting, enduring is not enough. Tell me of the times that you have taken a risk and how you greet your fear." Let's take a deep breath in and we let it out. And we say amen as we move into meditation. So I invite you to close your eyes and just tap into your heart space. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take another breath in on the count of 4. Hold it for 4 and then let it out for the count of 4. So together we breathe in. And we close our eyes, we let our jaw relax down. Just let your face relax and your shoulders, let them come down. And I ask you, can you remember a time when you felt a longing for something? Did you move towards it or did you pull away from it? If you move towards it, spend a moment feeling what that joy felt like. And if you pulled away, ask yourself, why? We never have just one feeling of longing because our soul wants so much for us. What one thing would you need to fulfill that longing or to dissipate that fear? I want you to picture a box in front of you in your mind's eye. It's actually a part of you, but to see it, we pull it out from ourselves and we place it in front of us. And on the box, it's labeled, "God is my help in every need." We open the lid of the box, and inside a brilliant light escapes because you can see these beautiful, brilliant jewels. And I want you to reach in and pick a jewel and pull it out and look at it. And as you're looking at this jewel, a word comes forth from it. It's probably one of your 12 power words, or a descriptive word about one of our powers. And it's there for you to use to go forward, to help you to hear your soul's song and to figure out that if you use this word, this power, that you can use it to get there. You can use it to help you release your fears about what you're holding on to that's preventing you from listening to your soul's song of joy. To hear our soul's song of joy and move closer to it, we want to know that divine mind does your every hunger feed. So let's just sit with that word for a few moments. And I invite you to take that brilliant gem, that jewel with the word on it, and just pull it into your heart space with your hands on your heart. Just pull it in and breathe into it. You've taken a step toward being equipped to really knowing that God is our help in every need. God does our every hunger feed. You have what you need to listen to your soul's song and to do something about it, to take a step, to do whatever you need to do so that you can feel that joy within you. And so we take a deep breath in. We let it go. And we say, and so it is. And so I let it be.
So I let it be.
Amen.
Amen. Oh my goodness, Rev Lori. It's my pleasure and my honor to thank you for a presentation that was so rich in story, in poetry, a meaningful message about how we can make peace with our fears. And as I was listening, I thought, what makes this message stand out? And Rev Lori, you have always showed us your wonderful ability to share story that is relevant, to bring humor. And today you brought your own personal self in your move and how you and Bob both dealt with that move. I love the poem. I will take away a lot of messages, as I'm sure others will too, that we can put into practice right now and let our souls sing as we listen, as we give thanks to you for sharing your message with us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my power, over the mountains. I send my power, over the sea. I send my power, into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send peace over the mountains. I send peace over the sea. I send peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my power, over the mountains. I send my power, over the sea. I send my power, into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me, and it returns to me. It returns to me. It returns to me. It returns to me.
And there are Rev Lori and Bob by the sea, and their love is returning to us. We are filled with gratitude for our spiritual nourishment. We share our abundance. We have an opportunity to share in the form of a tithe. And we give thanks for all those people who continue to give gifts to our spiritual community. We express our appreciation for all the benefits that we enjoy. And we rejoice in our chance to share of our good to the source that feeds us. And you can do this easily through clicking the Tithely button or just going to our Unity of London website. And now we move to our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me, us. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay, God.
there's the gallery view.
Oh, there's the gang.
Yeah. There's the gang. Everyone's muted still, though. Look at the puppy.
Now we open up for one of our favorite parts of our service. Not the only part, of course, but a chance for all of you have a chance to share ideas with Lori and Bob too. There's Bob. If you have any questions or comments, just put your hand up. And the reason for the hand is not because we're in school, just because shyer people might just want to go like that. They don't want to interrupt other people. Peggy Matzer, and then Dawn. Peggy, you're muted.
Yep,
There you
I know.
go.
Can you hear me now? Because my
Yes.
sound wasn't good. Okay. Just wanted to say thank you, Reverend Lori, for sharing the struggles that you went through for so long and making this decision to change your life so drastically. I can certainly relate to that. Long before pandemic, I was struggling with the idea of making an enormous change in my life. And then the pandemic came along and I went, okay, I don't have to think about that anymore. So I retreated, and it was comfortable to retreat back into safety. So it's interesting to relate to what you were saying.
Thanks, Becky. Dawn?
I too wanted to say thank you. It's a blessing to have you with us, Reverend Lori. And I can hear and feel the pleasure and the happiness that you're experiencing, both you and Bob, in this move. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Dawn.
Good move, Bob.
Anybody
I don't-
else? Tony.
I'm not sure what the big
Oh,
deal is.
sorry.
We move every 6 months,
Yeah.
whether we need to.
We're trying to figure out what the conflict is.
You don't have 30 years in one spot, though.
You know, when,
Not in one country.
and I know when there's a conflict with something big like this, like a move between the man and a wife, it all depends on whose idea it is and whether it works out well or not. Happy wife, happy life, right, Bobby?
And Tony had something to share.
Well, Larry covered it.
Okay.
That exact same quote. Thumbs up to Bob for going with the flow there, pal.
You got it. You got it.
And every
Oh,
Pisces needs to be by the water. We know that. It's true. It's a huge calling. Yeah.
Yeah, I am a Pisces. That's right.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Lois?
Yes. Well, I've had an inkling to move to Port Stanley a couple times. And as some of you know, I'm changing bedrooms at the moment. And this morning I found application that I got for the seniors building up in the hill in Port Stanley. And here you are this morning. And that's one of the places I admire too. Nancy and I drove up there one day and said, oh, wouldn't it be nice to go in that pool? Have that view of the lake down there on the one side. Yeah, so I know where you are. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
I got
Grace,
to
I think I
experience
saw-
that pool. I got to experience that pool when house sitting or cat sitting for Tony and Bonnie this summer. And yes, Lois, it's just wonderful to be there.
Grace?
Oh, I thank you, Lori, for that acronym of change, constantly having a new growth experience. I wrote that down because that really struck me. Constantly having a new growth experience.
Yeah.
Some of our changes are big and some are little.
Yes. Yeah.
Very true.
Thanks, Grace.
Teresa?
I just want to thank Reverend Lori, but I'm putting up my hand for Jack.
I'm thinking about Bob, how brave he is to go along and adapt to things in life to make things better. And I missed Reverend Lori's talks, and I was glad that you're back on and that I can hear you, and I enjoy your talks at any time.
George?
Yes, thank you, Reverend Lori. That was a great talk, and I really enjoy your talks. And I think I'm the one sticking in the mud. I feel like I lived in this house for 61 years, and maybe
Wow.
moved by the water. I'm not sure.
Wow.
You heard it here first, Barb.
Years, Reverend Lori.
And Barb's the one that wants to stay, or you both want to
Yes,
stay?
Oh,
I want
yeah.
to stay.
And
Thanks for sharing. It was wonderful.
You're welcome.
Are we gonna, is Bob gonna talk next week?
Yes, I'll talk about the upheaval in the basement. You cannot take a step without kicking a box. So,
Tell us how you're doing with the move.
oh, I'm adjusting. I mean, it is physically, it's quite beautiful here,
Yeah.
as has been alluded to by a number of folks. We're right at the edge of the cliff. You can see the water out the back windows. If you walk out on the back lawn, it's just a wonderful view. As Lori said, it changes daily. Last week there were ferocious winds and the waves were crashing over the pier. And yesterday it was quite calm and quite mild. So Bentley and I and Lori have been for walks on the pier, along the dock, along the beach. So it's quite beautiful.
The edge of the cliff was that story that you told, Lori?
Don't change your name to Jack.
Was that you hanging there?
Oh, it's getting used to it. As Lori said, when you go from 2,600 square feet to 1,400 square feet, and then you try and bring everything along, we just don't have the space. It's physically quite different, but we'll manage. We'll get it together, and it'll all get sorted out. So you're all quite welcome to come and visit us in Port Rowan anytime you like.
Rowan. That's good. That's good.
Tony, did I see your hand up?
I was just going to say to Bob and Lori, 1,400 is a lot easier to clean than 2,600.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the square footage, Tony? I don't really know how much square footage there is here.
Offhand, I'm not sure. Yes, I think it's in that area. Yeah.
It is, I'm sure once we get everything in a routine, it certainly will be easier to clean than our other house. Yeah.
Larry and then Bonnie.
I heard what George was sharing there, and I immediately thought about Barb. And I thought, if Barb ever wants to live near the water, she's going to have to dig a pond.
Well, I think she does. There's a pool right out back there, so maybe that's as close as you're going to get, Barb.
Bonnie? Well,
oh,
I think you're muted, Bonnie. There you go.
I just wanted to say there are 52 units here. So if anyone else is so motivated or has this longing, just think on Sunday mornings right now with COVID, we could just all go out to the end of our driveway. We could have a service in person, and wouldn't that be
They tried that in Aylmer. Look what that led to.
Unity of Port Stanley.
Unity.
Suzanne, you and Chuck live in Port Stanley. Do you have any comments for your newer neighbors?
I can only say they're going to love it here. There's nothing not to love about living in a small community and right on the water.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go here, we know like the pharmacist, all of his assistants' names. You go to the grocery store, you know their names, the restaurant owners. It just has a nice feel to it when you're in a small community. You connect with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I know they're going to love it here.
And we are, yep.
Yeah.
It's nice walking the dogs on the beach.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Only in the off season.
Yeah.
And I have mentioned to them about how we don't really follow rules like the people that come from out of town. Like people move here and then they're like, there's no dogs allowed on the beach. I'm going to call the bylaw officer. And during COVID, when there was more than the beach was closed. And if there were 2 people out there walking on the beach, somebody would call the police on them. But the locals don't do that. So, I encourage Bob and Lori to overlook any of the local bylaws.
If you need to break a rule, we'll help you.
Yeah, we can fill you in on what rules actually are meant to be followed by locals.
Talk title is, does Port Stanley really have a jail?
Okay, we have a board meeting normally scheduled for 11:30 today. However, we'll defer that till say 11:45. Gives everybody an opportunity to continue some of this discussion if you like.
Thanks, Tony.
I'll go. Bye-bye.